Are you ready for some tea? Some wedding tea? Well, welcome. It's Desiree here, and I'm so excited to see you. Allow me to sit this down. So, as always, I've got a story for you. Let me first start off by saying thank you. Thank you so very much to everyone who supports this podcast slash YouTube channel. The Wedding Tea, it's almost a year old. I'm so excited to share that. And I thank each and every one of you for your love, your support. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking. Thank you for commenting. It truly, truly means so much to me. And I am grateful to each and every one of you. The next thing I'd like to share is that I am opening up the Wedding Tea to other wedding and event pros to share their stories. I'm so excited about this newest endeavor because let's be honest, y'all. I'm eventually going to run out of stories, right? I mean, that would make for a horrible career if I could keep this channel going on for years and years and years off of my stories. So I have decided that I am going to bring on other wedding pros that are photographers, videographers, makeup artists, calligraphists, other wedding planners. You name it, I am so interested in hearing your funny stories, your crazy stories, your ridiculous stories. In the next few months, I will be opening up the form for you to submit to decide if you will be able to be on the Wedding Tea. So yeah, start thinking of those stories because I am going to be looking for those to come on here and join me in the very near future. So with that said, let's go ahead and get started. This story we're going to call All Those Bridesmaids. All Those Bridesmaids. Now listen, I'm guessing from the title you can tell how this story probably turned out. But listen, it's funny as heck, so I got to share it with you, okay? Well, maybe not all the way funny, but it's some comedy to this one for sure. This was another one of our very slow-moving couples. But listen, I'm going to give them a break because they were new parents, so I understood why I couldn't get the information as quickly as I needed it. But they also had hired me early enough that I had a little buffer time in there should I need something and not get it on that specific date. And I did a lot of work for them trying to pull, having phone conversation, text messages, whatever they needed me to do in order to make this process go quicker and go a lot smoother for them. I pretty much jumped in and did that for them. As I said, my heart went out to this young woman because her parents had passed on. And I wanted to make sure that she had an enjoyable experience. Although sad on some sides, I still wanted to make sure that she smiled. I worked with them as much as I could to try to gather the information because I knew that they were having some sleepless nights, okay? And I have to say, the maid of honor and several of the bridesmaids were very helpful as well. Sometimes the bride would say, hey, reach out to such and such, or here's the number to such and such. Can you call and ask her that? Because, hey, the bride couldn't be on the phone all the time. She couldn't reply to emails all the time. And I was okay with that. So she would sometimes download information to her friends, and then they would give me that information. Now, I will say this. I didn't like that as much because, again, transferring information, things could get misconstrued. I could get the wrong thing. They might add their opinion in on it. So, yeah, I still had to always follow up with the couple to make sure that what I was being shared by someone else was actually what they wanted. Because let's be real, let's be frank. They are the ones who signed the contract. Because listen, I understand you got a new baby and both of you are on the entrepreneurial track, but I need to make sure my bases are covered when it comes to receiving this information. So yeah, I always cross-checked and made sure everything was good. So like I said, the planning process went pretty smoothly. It wasn't the best, but I didn't see any red flags like being thrown at me. But like I always tell you, that's what I get for thinking. And hey, I got glasses on. I should have been able to see this coming a mile away. So now let's jump ahead to about 60 days before the wedding, all right? For all of the DE couples, I make sure that about 60 days prior to your wedding that we send you the marriage license email. This email is going to contain information on how you go about applying for your marriage license. In Illinois, you can apply 60 days out, okay? And the license becomes valid after 24 hours of receipt, okay? So all of this is outlined in the email, as well as locations for them to go ahead and apply, the cost, etc., etc. I make sure my couples are armed with this because, listen, we could do all this planning. You can spend $80, $90, $100,000 on your wedding, but if you don't have that marriage license, it does not matter. You're not going to have your wedding ceremony, or your ceremony is not going to be valid on that day. So I want to make sure that my couples have this information. So like always, I sent it to this couple too. They responded that they had received the email and that they were going to go ahead and put it on their calendar, a date in which they could go and apply. This was pre-COVID, which meant they had to go together to stand in that long line, apply for the marriage license, make the payment, and receive the license. They had to go together. So I made sure that I stayed on them about going down there to get the license, because like I just said, this wedding will not happen. The ceremony won't be valid if they don't have this license. Plus, in addition to that, I was also owed my final payment. My final payments, I'd like to receive that 30 days before the actual wedding day. So in the midst of sending them this email about the marriage license, I also made sure I let them know, hey, you're coming up on that final payment. I'm going to go ahead and need that. All right. Time starts to move on. We are time traveling at this point. Let's go ahead and jump to about 2 weeks before the wedding. They still have not applied for their marriage license, and I still do not have my final payment. I'm like, ooh, okay, we're getting real close. Now, mind you, as I shared, I like this couple. So I went on ahead and kept doing what I needed to do because I just felt in my spirit, I'm going to get paid. I'm not worried about it, okay? They have a lot going on. Keep doing what you need to do, Desiree. You're going to get this money. But I had to stay on them, sending them numerous emails, numerous messages about, hey, when are you going to get the license? You told me this date, you didn't go. What is the plan for that? About 3 days, listen to me, about 3 days before the wedding, the groom says, hey, Desiree, I'm in the area. I need to come talk to you. I got something for you. I'm like, okay. So I welcomed him. He comes on to Hyde Park. He comes to my office. I'm like, hey, what's going on? So yeah, about that final payment. We about 72 hours before the wedding. I've been letting you slide. What's going on? This man asked me, and I will never forget this. This man asked me, y'all, let me listen. I promise y'all, when I say this, it is the truth. Okay? Let me come back. This man asked me, would I accept Link? He asked me. Yes, he did, y'all. And for those who do not know what Link is, it is the food card given by the government for those that they may have some challenges. I don't even know the proper way to say it because I'm still shocked to this day that this man offered to pay for his wedding, his balance for his wedding planner with a Link card. Now, I'm going to keep it real with y'all. That amount of money in groceries really had me intrigued. But then I thought, I can't put that many groceries in my refrigerator and freezer. Like half of this food is going to spoil. What am I going to do with that? And then furthermore, I don't want to have no smoke with the government. So I'm like, no, sir, I do not accept Link. You cannot pay your balance off in Link. I'm going to need some cash. What's going on? When are you going to pay? Because like tomorrow is the wedding rehearsal. Oh, and by the way, when are y'all going to go get this marriage license? He was like, oh yeah, we're going to go get the marriage license tomorrow on the way to the rehearsal. And Desiree, okay, I'll have the cash for you tomorrow. I'm like, yeah, okay. When I come to that rehearsal, sir, I'm going to need my coin and I'm going to need to see an envelope with a marriage license in it so that it can be given to the officiant. Please do not disappoint me. Okay. Now let's jump into the next day, the wedding rehearsal over at the mansion. This is when I am going to officially meet all 24 wedding party members, plus the little kids, etc., etc. Couple comes in, they are frazzled. They are stressed. The baby is on the hip. They just look like, okay, we want this whole thing to be over. I am tired. The bridesmaids come in and listen, these ladies look good. I have to say they were dressed real cute because afterwards they were supposed to be going to have a rehearsal dinner at an undisclosed location. So, hey, everybody came dressed to the nines. These ladies came in there with their heels on, the little cute dresses, all of those things. The guys came in there like guys. Some got jeans on, some got their athletic gear on. They like, whatever, we here for the rehearsal. What we need to do, ma'am? I'm like, okay. So as always, I introduced myself to the wedding party saying, hey, my name is Desiree. This is my assistant, blah, blah, blah. We're here to service this beautiful couple on this day. And we need all of you to make sure that you take care of them on this day. Make sure that they feel special, but also do what is asked of you. Let's not make this harder than it needs to be. The real easy thing about it is we have live musicians. You're going to walk down the aisle. You're going to stand in position, all right? Once you hear that final song, you're going to exit out. It's not real hard. It's not rocket science, but I just need all of you all's cooperation. And then that is when it started. That is when it started. Those ladies and their attitudes were just stank. When I tell you, I have been in contact with the maid of honor and I think 2 other bridesmaids, but the other 9,000 of them had attitude problems. They were nasty. They didn't want to listen. It was all about them and what they looked like and how they wanted to stand and why are we doing it this way and why can't we? I don't care. I'm going to need you to stand in this line just like I've asked you to, okay? See how the guys are cooperative? I'm gonna need you beautiful ladies to be cooperative as well. But no, they wanted to keep giving attitude to the point that I pulled the bride to the side. I says, hey, I need you to help your friends understand that I am in charge on this day. You all have given me the rights to do that. And I am only asking them to do basic things so that we can hurry up and get done. Because let's be real, we only had 1 hour in this location, all right? We needed to rehearse all 900 of them, getting them down the aisle, exiting out and doing it again, exiting out, have the minister say what he needed to say and then exit out. Like I needed to get all of this done in 1 hour. I don't need the attitudes, boo. All right? So can you talk to your friends? So she comes up in front and she's like, hey, everybody, I need you all to listen. This is Desiree. She is our wedding planner. She is our wedding coordinator. She is a person who's going to run tomorrow to make sure everything runs smoothly. Could you please listen to her so that we can get out of here, so that we can get done with everything and head on over to blah, blah, blah location? Well, I guess her friends didn't like her standing up there telling them that she needed them to cooperate and to listen. Because when I tell you some of the things that I heard mumbling up under those ladies' breath, I would have kicked them out that wedding immediately. How y'all got an attitude with this woman because she's just asking y'all to stand up here quietly, to hold your hands a certain way, to face a certain way? It's not hard. Why is it all about you? It's funny. I have discovered many times that there are some women who are just not happy for these ladies who have found their person. All right. It's some ladies that are just not happy. And I've discovered that over 80% of her wedding party was not happy for her. And I mean, when I speak of wedding party, I'm specifically talking about the bridesmaid. To make a long story short and a rehearsal move fast, we got through it. Attitude and all, we did get through it, and everybody was packing their things up so that they could head to the next location. So I pulled the couple to the side. I'm like, hey, how y'all doing? Hi. We've had the rehearsal. We've had the rehearsal, and I see you brought your wedding items, your inventory. I'm going to go ahead and write those things down and make sure I got everything I need, but there's something missing. Yeah, I need my payment. I have to say, the groom handed me an envelope. I wasn't going to disrespect in that moment and count out my cash, but I will say I counted it before I left the venue. Before he left the venue, we were all good. But then I said, yeah, so where's the marriage license? Y'all.